In today's video, I'll show you how to start comping on the drums so that you can play along to all your favorite jazz tunes and songs. Make sure to stick around to the end where I'll show you how to improvise with these ideas and incorporate them into your playing. I've created a free PDF containing all the exercises in this video. Hit the link in the description to grab that, and let's dive in. So if you're new to comping, comping is short for accompanying or complementing the music. So we're improvising and reacting to what's going on around us in the music. So we're just going to cover some single note snare comping phrases underneath the jazz ride cymbal and the hi-hats on 2 and 4. So the ride cymbal is in triplets, so we get 1 triplet, 2 triplet, let 3 triplet, 4 triplet, let 1. But I like to count it in swing eighth notes, so we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So we get 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1. It's up to you how you want to count it. Both ways work, so just use whatever you feel most comfortable with. So for the technique side of things, for the ride cymbal, I'm using a throw catch or open close technique. So I'm going 1, throw and catch, throw and catch, throw and catch, throw and catch. I've covered this in more detail in another video, so I'll link that up here. And for the hi-hat, I'm using heels up so I can get a nice snappy and articulate sound. So that's always going to be our home base, playing the ride cymbal pattern with the hi-hats on 2 and 4. So now we're going to incorporate a snare drum on beat 1. So we're going to get 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. It'll sound like this. So I'm really trying to make sure that the snare is lining up with the ride cymbal on beat 1. And just start this really slow. I would not use a metronome at the start just to get the coordination down. But once that's feeling comfortable, then you can add in the metronome and build up the speed slowly from there. The next exercise we're going to cover is playing the snare on the 1 and. So we get 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1. Next, we're going to move the snare to beat 2. So this will line up with the ride and the hi-hat. So you have 3 limbs lining up. So that can be kind of tricky at the start. So you can practice playing just hats, snare, and ride just to make sure those are lining up and then put it into the beat. All right, and then we have the 2 and. So this is going to line up with the skip note of the ride cymbal. So this is another one that you might want to just slow down the motion. So we have ride cymbal on beat 1, ride with hi-hats on beat 2, and then on the and of 2, or the 2 let, we have both our hands together. So really slowly, it'll sound like this. All right, so that's the 1, 1 and, 2, 2 and on the snare. Now the good news is you've done all the hard work. When we play the 3, 3 and, 4, 4 and, it's the exact same, but just in the second half of the bar. So when we play on beat 3, it's the same coordination as beat 1, but obviously we're just going to start on beat 3. It'll sound like this. Next we have the 3 and. So we're going to play 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Really slowly, it'll sound like this. All right, a little bit faster. So then we're going to play on beat 4. So we have 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. And then lastly, we have the 4 and, or the 4 let. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. Okay, so once these exercises are feeling comfortable, add in the metronome and slowly build up the speed. Make sure that you're nice and relaxed and getting a good sound on the drums, and then we're ready to start improvising with these ideas. Okay, so we've covered 8 comping patterns on the snare drum, and also we cannot play a comping pattern, which would technically be another option. So we have 9 options. So when you start improvising, just trying to improvise with these 9 options can be quite overwhelming when you're starting out. So what I recommend is to pick 2 comping patterns and have the third one as no comping pattern, also known as just playing the ride and hi-hat. So for example, we could say, let's play beat 1, we can have the 3 and we can also have no comping pattern 2, so just the ride cymbal and hi-hats. And so you can have the sheet music on a music stand next to you as a reference, or if you don't need that, you can just write down 1 or 3 and on a piece of paper, and basically you're just going to choose either to not play a snare, to play a snare on beat 1, or to play a snare on beat 3 and. So improvising using this simple framework will sound like this. So you can start by simply just rotating through, no snare, snare on beat 1, snare on 3 and. But then once you get comfortable with that, you can start to slowly mix and match the ideas. You could also as well write out 8 bars and just write them in if you find that helps you get started. But after a while, once you get more comfortable with it, it's great to just try and improvise on the drums. And you're probably going to run into some coordination things where you might play an extra ride cymbal, skip note, for example, on the 3 and. But stick with it, give it some time, and the ideas will start to flow naturally. So for the second example, I'm going to use 3 options. We're going to use beat 2, beat 4, and beat 4 and. So I'm going to alternate between these 3, improvising. So have a go just making up a little system of 2 to 3 examples. If 3 is too much at the start, just have 2 examples and alternate between them. It's great to add in some bars as well where you don't play snare, just to give you a buffer, and you can kind of use that as your home base or your anchor to always come back to that. That's always going to sound great playing along to songs. Speaking of songs, we're going to have a go now, and I'm going to use the 8 examples and just improvise and play a little bit along to a blues form. So this is going to be a 12-bar blues. So feel free to pick up your sticks and play along and improvise using these 8 exercises. So have some fun with these ideas, have a go improvising with them and playing them along to your favorite jazz songs. If you're looking to take your drumming further, I offer online drum coaching. You can book in a free 15-minute call just to have a chat about your goals and see if coaching's right for you. There'll be a link in the description if you're interested in that. Let me know how you go in the comments, and if you're looking for a deep dive on the throw and catch technique, then check out this video here on how to do that.